The most messed up thing about this is that every time I vacuum now, I feel like I'm committing mass genocide. Just ruining whole civilizations with my vacuum cleaner.
Ba-doop.
Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a book review on The Carpet People by Terry Pratchett. This is my second Terry Pratchett book, which my first one was The World of Pooh, which is definitely a children's book. This one I'm told is a children's book, but when I look it up online it says it's entrance fantasy for YA readers or a children's book. So either way, I liked it, and I'm going to tell you about what I liked about it. So real quickly, before we get into what the book is about and my thoughts, I want to shout out two people. I want to shout out my friend David he gave me this book. He sent it to me in a box with a couple other Terry Pratchett books and some other things, and if it wasn't for David, I wouldn't even know about this book. So thank you, David. And I also want to shout out my friend Jack from Spread Book Joy. If you haven't checked your channel out yet, you totally should. She advocates for reading and literacy for every age. She reads a lot of books for children and does reviews on them. She also does reviews and talks about books that she reads for her own personal reading. She deserves more subscribers than anyone on the internet. She is just fabulous, and I'm gonna leave a description. I'm gonna leave a link in my description, so check her out. Do that now. Check David out if you haven't already. I think everybody who subscribes to me pretty much already knows David. So, to the book. In the beginning, there was nothing but endless flatness. Then came the carpet. That's the story everyone knows and loves, even if they don't really believe it. But now the carpet is home to many different tribes and peoples, and there's a new story in the making. The story of the fray, sweeping trails of destruction across the carpet. The story of the power-hungry Meowls and two Mungrung brothers who set out on an adventure to end all adventures when their village is flattened. That's the synopsis. So this book is mainly a story about an uprising of the Meowls, M-O-U-L-S, mules. I could be pronouncing it wrong, but we're gonna go with that. And an adventure of two brothers from the Mungrung tribe, sort of trying to get to a place called where everything is hunky-dory. In the beginning, it says that there were people, and then they found other people, and then there's other things. So there are the main tribes or people you hear about are the Mungrugs, the Doomies, the Meowls, and the Whites. So the Mungrungs and the Doomies are people. The Meowls, mules, they are, I don't even know exactly what they are. They're not people. They're things, they're its. And then you have the Whites that are also kind of things, its peoples, but they see everything. They see things that have happened, will happen. Everything is just kind of happening all at once. They know what's going to happen. They know what has happened. They just know. All the people, creatures, animals, they all live in the carpet. And the carpet is described as this vast carpet. They're in a land of carpet. There are hares. They call them hares. They're thick as tree trunks. And there's dust and mold and things within the carpet that just make things magical. So they're all in this carpet. They're cutting down the hairs as tree trunks, using them for things. And the animals that are in this, there's horses, like regular horses, like in our world, but depending on what color the carpet is or the shade of the carpet, the animals will change that color, which is to me kind of like chameleon camouflage, which is super cool. But if they leave that area, then they stick out like a sore thumb. So you also have the fray, which is to them is a big storm that comes and just sucks everything up and destroys everything, and they have to lay on the ground and close their eyes and just sort of like hang tight, so that way they don't get sucked away. And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a vacuum. So now every time I vacuum, I feel like I'm just destroying civilizations. I feel like I did not explain this very eloquently, but I'm just going to put it down and tell you what I didn't like and liked about it. So we're going to start with a con. I thought the book was just a little messy. I got confused at times and had to go back. There were characters that would appear and then disappear, and then you never heard about them again until later when you needed them, I think. So that's kind of my only con. Pros. So my first pro is that it was funny. This is satire. It had a couple good quips in it. I did write down a few of the funnier bits, but I'm only going to share the one with you because I feel like it's probably going to be the least spoilery. I was debating on which one to do, but the quote is, "There are better ways to do things than hitting people over the head." And when I read that, I laughed out loud because it was really funny. There are better ways to do things than hitting people over the head. So in the book, there are people who used to be warriors. They talk about how they used to be warriors, and then they reminisce about the days that they were these warriors, and then they're like, we should go back to that. No, I can't. My legs hurt. You know, yeah, it was funny. I thought it was hilarious in a lot of different parts. My second pro is that it kept me so involved that I read most of this on a plane, well, 2 planes, that my plane ride went by so fast. I read almost all of my first flight, and then I read like maybe the last 50 pages my second flight. So it made the time go by really fast. And my last pro is that it was a fun read. And you know, like I said before, that they said that this is either a children's book or a introduction to YA fantasy, and I feel like even if I would have read this as a teenager, there are certain things in this book that I wouldn't have found funny at all because I was too young to get it. So I liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was fun, it was funny, and I gave it 3 stars. So if you've read this, leave me a comment down below. Tell me what you thought about it. If you want to read it, and then come back and tell me. If you read it and hated it, let me know, because I want to know if you hated it. Have a good day, read some books, and come back and see me. Bye!